Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today we are going to be predicting UFC Fight Night Royval versus Kape. So it's a decent fight night. I mean, it's not the best, but we have some names on here. We got my boy Manel Kape, we got Brandon Royval, Giga Chikadze, that's a big name. Cesar Almeida, he's interesting. Morgan Charrier, this is going to be a banger. Katie Nezatriku, and Bobby Green's on here, and yeah, it's pretty much everyone relevant. Let's go ahead and jump right into these predictions. So I'm going to warn you, I don't really know a lot of these people, so I am going to be doing live research by looking at their records and everything. But I do know Manel Kape and I know Brandon Royval, and let me tell you something. I love Manel Kape. People hate on him. But I really like him. I mean, they go after him. They say he's a cheater. They say all this. They say all that. But his performance against Bruno Silva was genuinely one of my favorite performances I've ever seen in a fight ever. Like, I think that's genuinely my favorite performance ever, like in UFC. And it's kind of a weird one to be my favorite, but the way he was flowing, he genuinely entered a flow state and was just beating the shit out of this guy, man. Like, he was. And then against Asuo Mabayev, it was basically the same thing, just not as good. But, he did pretty good. And Brandon Royval, it's like, when he can brawl, man. I mean, he was brawling with Joshua Van. And Joshua Van's really, really, really good. But Joshua Van is more of like a boxer. And Manel Kape is more of like this slick striker. And I think his striking is going to be too slick for Royval. Let me check the odds on this. Oh, it doesn't have odds on here. Okay, well, I still think Manel Kape, his striking, he looked like a world beater. He had that really weird fight against, I think, Felipe dos Santos. And then he barely won that against a fight that was like a guy debuting. And then Felipe dos Santos really aged kind of poorly. And then Manel Kape had that other weird fight against no, not Evloev. The other guy who's like Evloev, but at flyweight. I don't remember the fucker's name. Mokaev, that dude. He had that really weird fight against him where he like broke his toe immediately and then genuinely just did nothing the entire fight. And these aren't bad losses. Like Pantoja in your first fight where he took him to I think this is a 29-28 decision if I'm not mistaken. This had to have been a 29-28 decision, right? Yeah, this is a 29-28 decision on 2 scorecards. So that's not bad. And split decision Matheus Nicolau isn't terrible. This is a decent streak. This fight, he broke his toe like 2 minutes into the fight and then just did nothing the entire fight. And then he came back and he looked like a world beater against Bruno Silva. Like, he came back and he locked the hell in. He was locked in when he came back and he did that shit, bro. It was crazy. And Brandon Royval, it's like, he's a good boxer, and he's decent at striking. I just don't feel like he's slick enough, and I don't feel like he's fast enough for Manel Kape. And for that, I'm going to pick Manel Kape. KO 4th round. Makes the most sense. Okay, let me tell you something. People go after Manel Kape, and they're like, oh, he's a cheater. He cheated to win the Bruno Silva fight. Because they look at the finish. They watch that fight and they only look at the highlights and they look at the finish. Like, they look at the highlights of Manel beating him up and they look at the finish where he, like, kicks in the balls and then finishes him against the cage. But what they're ignoring is that Manel Kape got kicked in the nuts hard, like, 3 times in a fucking row in that fight. It was like, bam, bam, bam. I think Bruno Silva even lost a point in that fight, if I'm not mistaken. I was live tweeting that shit, too. Because I was like, what the fuck, take a point, bro. Like, it was crazy how they didn't, how he got kicked in the balls 3 times in that fight. And then he came back with a nut shot. And then in the Asuo Mabayev fight, it was the same shit. It was the same thing. He got an eye poke to finish him, but like a minute into the fight, Asuo Mabayev eye poked Manel Kape first. So it's like, okay, Manel Kape is a reactive fouler. He fouls people who foul him first. And it's like, it was justified in the Bruno Silva fight. I'm glad Bruno Silva got finished with a nut shot because he kicked Manel Kape in the balls like 3 times. And then same with Azul Mabayev. So it was like, oh, he's a cheater, he's a cheater. Shut the fuck up. Like, he got cheated first in each of those fights. He's going to beat the shit out of Royval. And if he does, I'm going to be really sad because I'm a huge fan of Manel Kape. He's awesome. Giga Chikadze versus Kevin Vallejos. Now, this is a good fight. I don't know a lot about these guys. Giga Chikadze, if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't fought in forever, right? Yeah, he hasn't fought since the beginning of this year. He lost to David Onama? Bro, David Onama is not that good. Come on. I don't even remember this fight. The Alex Caceres fight, Alex Caceres was doing pretty good in that fight, too. Yeah, he's so inactive. Bro's fighting once a year. Like, no, I can't pick him. I remember this fight. He was doing decent. I don't really remember specifics, but I know, like, thinking, like, consciously in my head, I was like, oh, he's doing pretty good. Is he going to win by KO? I don't see him KOing Chikadze. But I just, okay, Chikadze's losing to Onama. His latest win was the Alex Caceres fight, right? And I don't even think he did that good in the Alex Caceres fight. I remember this fight. It was actually one of my favorite fights when I was watching it. It was, like, really good. But he wasn't doing that good in that fight. It was a cool-ass fight because they were both doing, like, crazy spinning kicks and stuff. But not a good fight. I mean, not a good performance by Chikadze. We're going with Vallejos. Cesar Almeida versus Celery Olenjacek. Cesar Almeida was the guy who beat Alex Pereira in kickboxing, if I'm not mistaken. Darko-san, Roman Kopylov by getting smudged on the ground. Dude, this Ior Pateria fight was weird. He was, like, having to... He fouled him, like, 8 times in that fight. That was kind of weird. And Abdulrazak, is he good? No contact. Oh, was he the guy who headbutted Cody Brundage? Or was that the other fight? Lost to Joe Piper by sub. Walking Buckley. Okay, those aren't bad losses. What are his other losses? Chaos Williams. Ooh. Does he have good wins? Not really. Oh, you're kind of cooked if Nico Price is your best win. I don't know about Cesar Almeida, you guys. He was fouling the shit out of Ior Pateria, and his grappling wasn't all there. Okay, let's look at Celery. Oh. See, these kind of fighters, I don't like picking them because they're so untested. I don't even remember seeing this fight. I watched like half of Contender Series. He could be good, but his brother is Mikhailo Jacek, if I'm not mistaken. And he's not the best. He started training with the Fighting Nerds, though, but he beat, like, GM3. So we have Caesary versus Caesar. I don't think either of these guys are the best. This guy's untested. Oh, but he's going to decisions. And he's getting submissions. He's getting decisions. He's getting KOs. And he's winning by doctor stoppages. You know what that's telling me? He has power. And he goes for finishes. He can do a lot of damage. He has experience. And he can also grapple. That's what it's telling me. And Cesar Almeida just, you know what? This is probably going to be risky. I'm going to go Olajaychik by submission. Round 2. Warren Charia versus Mizel Costa. I love Mizel Costa. I'm a big Christian Rodriguez fan, so I was sad when he beat Christian Rodriguez. But I really like Costa. He's active. Look at this. This is going to be his 4th fight this year. He didn't look that good against Julian Erosa, which was kind of, like, sad. Like, because Julian Erosa looked dog shit in his fight beforehand. And then it's like, how are you kind of, like, getting pieced up by Julian Erosa a little bit? But then he locked in and he won. And lost to Steve Garcia and Tagliamento. Those aren't bad losses at all. Especially Steve Garcia. Morgan Charriere, I remember him being good. But his best win is, like... beating Nate Landwehr isn't the best. Gabriel Miranda, not terrible. Lost to Nathaniel Wood. I don't feel like Nathaniel Wood is that good. I remember Morgan Charriere being decent, but I feel like Mazel Costa has like a very unique fighting style. Especially the Philly fight, they were both really good. Like they both were really unique in the grappling, very creative. Yeah, I think that's a different fight, but he's really creative in the grappling. He did good against Rodriguez too. I think he started losing in the third round, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. With that 21-11 record, I'm just not trusting Shahryar. Let's go Costa by decision. I don't see him finishing him. Marcus Buchecha versus Kenanez and Cheku. Let's look at this. Okay. Lost to Vilter Walker, no shame in that. Lucas Bresky, that guy's like 1-7 in the UFC, and Chris Barnett, when Chris Barnett like broke his foot immediately in the fight, losing to Ovince St. Preux in Big 2024. Your wins being Devin Clark and Ion Kutalaba. No, you're not good. You're not good, little bro. Who's the other guy? Marcus Buchecha. I don't remember him being that good. Oh, he was that jiu-jitsu guy that came in and just looked terrible. Yeah, no, this was that jiu-jitsu guy that came in and genuinely looked like he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Like he didn't belong in the octagon. Never mind, we're doing Ooh, but Kenanez and Chuku got heel hooked by Vilter Walker, so maybe his submission defense isn't the best, so maybe Marcus Buchecha would be able to pull off something similar. What are the stats on them? Kenanez and Chuku's taller, right? 6'5" to 6'4". What's the reach? 83 to 77. I don't know if Marcus Buchecha would be able to get the grappling off because he was just shooting takedowns at range against Budai and he gassed out in like a minute, didn't he? Let's go into Chiku by decision. Bobby Green versus Lance Gibson Jr. Never even heard of this guy. Bobby Green isn't that bad. His losses weren't that bad. He got caught by Jalen Turner, but before that, he bombed out Grant Dawson, and Grant Dawson was really good. And then he beat the shit out of Jim Miller when Jim Miller was coming off of 2 decent wins. Paddy Pimblett, he's obviously turned out to be pretty good. And then Ruffy's good at striking, so getting KO'd by him. Bobby's biggest problem is his chin, I would say. Is his chin gone? I don't know. Probably. But now the question is Lance Gibson Jr. gonna KO him? This is my first time looking at this guy. KO sub. This is a Bellator guy. I don't trust Bellator guys, y'all. Patricio Pitbull was lost as soon as he came in, and then put up a stinker. Patchy Mix put up a stinker immediately, and lost. Aaron Pico got bombed out. Now, I know Bobby Green isn't on the level of these guys, but, I just really don't see Bellator guys as, that good. He's well-rounded. I mean, he has submissions and KOs in Bellator, which isn't, a bad organization. It's just, I don't know. I don't recognize any of these names. But Bobby Green, is he that good? He has decent striking. I don't see him. I don't see Lance Gibson KOing him. Probably going by decision. Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. Okay. You don't have odds, so I don't know how many favorites versus underdogs I'm picking. I'll probably check that later, actually. Jillian Robinson. She looked good in her last fight. I remember watching this fight and thinking she looked really good. She's good on the ground. I think that was a ground and pound TKO, if I'm not mistaken. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Good win streak. These are all good wins. Tabitha Ritchie's in a bad loss. Aldridge, not so much. Amanda Lemos. Tatiana Suarez. These aren't bad losses. She's been relatively active, too. Did she get wrestle fucked in this decision? Because if her grappling is... I remember her getting out grappled by Zhang Wei Li. Because I remember watching that fight and being like, oh, she's out grappling the shit out of her. Is this just a control heavy fight? Yeah. And I feel like Jillian Robertson, she's good on the ground. She'll be able to replicate that. Jillian Robertson by decision. Probably grounded. No, I don't see her ground and pound TKOing her, but probably just out grappling her for the whole fight. Jonathan Brito versus Isaac Thompson. I recognize Jonathan Brito. Pat Sabatini. Not a bad loss. Gomez, split decision, not terrible. Jack Shore. Was that the guy when he got his, like the hole kicked in his leg? Wait, I want to see what this is. No, I don't want to. I think that's what it was. It was like the one where he like busted his leg, wasn't it? Where he like kicked the shit out of his leg really hard. No, because that was this year. Never mind. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Was it? What was this? Yeah. That's the leg. That's the busted leg fight. He looked good in that fight with those leg kicks. Even though that fight shouldn't have been stopped, he looked good in that fight. Philly's a good win. Lucas Tracy's a good win. Weston Wilson, He beat Diego Lopez on a Contender Series? Dude, okay, he's pretty good. Who is this dude? Split decision in LFA? No. What do you do? I think this is a short notice fight, and that's why he's here. But it's like, no, you're getting bombed out, little bro. KO in round 2. KO in round 2 sounds good. Neil Magny. Okay, this guy, I've heard of him. He was apparently like a big deal on the regional scene. Let's look at Neil Magny. I'm not a fan of Neil Magny. I don't like him because he's a cockroach, but he's been pulling off some wins. Look at his losses recently. People act like Neil Magny's really shit, but like look at his last losses. Carlos Prates, Mike Morales, Ian Machado Gary. Dude, ranked number 2 in the world, ranked number 3 in the world, I think ranked number 5 in the world now. Bombed out Leon Edwards, bombed out Sean Brady, beat the shit out of Bilal Muhammad. His chin isn't there, but he can get some good wins. Like, Jake Matthews' win was solid. I was really sad about this because I love Zaleski dos Santos, but no, I beat him too. He's crafty. He's crafty. Like, he has the ability to lose a fight for, like, most of the fight and then come back out of nowhere. Ooh, this guy's experienced, though. How old is he? 32. Okay, so it's not like he's washed. This is a lot of experience, but again, I don't know about Bellator guys. I mean, Douglas Lima's decent. I don't know any of the other guys. A lot of first-round KOs. So he obviously has power. Indy's well-rounded. But then when he gets to Bellator, he just starts going to decisions all the time. That's the thing. Okay, he's going to decisions. Let me tell you my thought process here. He's going to decisions. So if you're not bombing out Neil Magny in round 1, you're giving Neil Magny all this time. What the fuck? My power just went out. That was fucking weird. That's gonna knock out the internet, isn't it? Anyways, so what my thought process is, if you're going to a decision against all these guys, he's probably going to take Neil Magny to a decision. And if you take Neil Magny to a decision, that's giving him 3 whole rounds to cockroach his way to a victory and find some way to win. Because he can do that. He can win in round 3. You can't be taking Neil Magny to a decision. You got to just bomb him out. Unless you're Ian Gary. You got to just bomb him out. I know this guy has a big record on the regional scene and Neil Magny's shit. But I feel like if you're a regional guy, I mean a Bellator guy, coming in, taking Neil Magny to a decision, you're going to get slimed out in round 3. This is a risky pick. I want to seem really dumb if I get this wrong. But if he's going to all these decisions, he's giving Magny too much of an opportunity to just do some weird fuck-ass Neil Magny shit. And just cockroach his way to a victory. I don't know. That's my thought process. I could be wrong and I could look like a dumbass. What's this? Steven Asman was Sean Sheriff. I remember hearing that this guy was really bad. Oh, God damn it. Told you that was going to happen. Okay, well, my internet's cooked for, like, probably the next 15 minutes. Okay, I remember actually watching this guy on the Contender Series. And I remember his fight where he knocked this guy out really badly. And I'm like, I looked at him, and I'm like, dude, get a load of this guy. Look at this build, bro. Like, this guy, it's like, come on. He can't do anything. And then he bombs this guy out. And I remember hearing in the other breakdown videos I watched that this guy wasn't the best. So I don't have internet right now, so we're gonna go Aslan by KO in round 1. Lorna Santos versus Melissa Croden. Can't check any other things either. Luana Santos is good though. I remember her being really good. What are her stats? Yeah, still no internet. That's lame. Well, Luana Santos by decision, guys. Alan Fry Jr. Okay, I remember people breaking this down. Alan Fry Jr. does have a better regional record than this guy, but they're not fat sacks of shit, which is odd for heavyweight. Most of the time they're fat sacks of shit. But I remember Alan Fry Jr. like people saying he had a better record on the regional scene, and I'm gonna trust that, and we're gonna pick him probably by KO in round 2 because I feel like this guy he's not gonna get bombed out in round 1. Like I feel like he's decent. Teresa versus Jamie Lynn Worth. Jamie Lynn Worth is a woman, and she's Canadian. And for some reason, Canadian women are just really fucking good. What are her stats? Decent. She has better stats, though. I just don't think her record's as good. Is my internet back? Fuck yeah, my internet's back. Okay. Gabrielle Vanilla, that's a decent... Ooh. Her only loss being to Natalia Silva isn't bad, because Natalia Silva's really good. I have so many tabs open. Let's look at Jamie Lynn Horth, see if she's better. I think she got a win in her last fight, right? Bro, lock in. I picked the red one thinking it was Canada. Oh, Vanessa Demopoulos isn't that good though, which is really sad because she's cool and I like her, but she's not that good. She has that vet power though of just beating people out of nowhere. Is she a vet? She's 35. Not a lot of fights though. Demopoulos, split decision to Petrovic. Teresa, oh, that's a decent win. I don't remember her. Oh, she hasn't fought in forever, though. I feel like that's going to be a problem. She's fought recently. 6 months ago. She hasn't fought in 2 years. I feel like that's relevant. Shmi Fernandez, who beat Wayne Kong. Oh, this is going to be close. I'm fin-sitting this. Are we siding with the activity? Because her wins, Jamie Lynn Horth doesn't have good wins. Neither does her, but she has bad losses too. She only has 2, actually. Split decision to Veronica Hardy. She's on a win streak, right? If she's on a win streak, we're picking Horth. Decent. Fuck it, we're picking Horth. Jamie Lynn Horth by decision. That's probably going to backfire. I'm going to look at the odds on these fights. They don't have odds on any of these? Dude, I could be picking all underdogs without even realizing it. Okay. You know what? These are kind of... I'm kind of going with some risky picks here. But the Neil Magny pick's risky as hell. I'm going to look at... So is the Bobby Green pick, low-key. I'm going to look like a dumbass if both of those picks don't work. I would look like a dumbass if none of these pick works. Okay, well, those are my picks, guys. Hopefully I don't get proven like a dumbass. Bye.